We're back here on our forum on tourism 2018 and beyond, and you heard opening remarks this evening by the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar. You heard from the President of Bahama, the Senior Vice President of Atlantis, and you also heard from a representative of the Musicians and Entertainers Union, as well as labor generally, in the person of Mr. Munnings. Mr. Munnings made some very provocative statements with respect to our culture and the experience. Tell us, and we all know that we have to create a better experience. It's about experience at the end of the day. Isn't that right, Mr. Davis?
That's correct.
Good. And so I'd like to hear from both of you on this side of the table on what is being done to improve the experience, because there are a whole lot of Bahamians who believe that they are being left out in your marketing, and you're not doing enough to encourage the improvement of the experience of the visitor to the Bahamas. Minister.
Well, you know, I'm a private sector guy, right? So is that the position? Is that the government? Does the government need to do that?
Not now.
Well, I believe that, we have 6.3 million visitors that come to this country every year. And it behooves the Bahamian entrepreneurs to figure out how to provide them with interesting and fun things to do. The cruise industry, for example, constantly complains there's nothing interesting to do here. What is there to do? We've been to certain places. Now we want something experiential. We want something that connects us with the soul of this country. And I invite the private sector to engage in this process. I mean, the government of the Bahamas can facilitate, we can help, we can connect you with certain businesses, we can open doors for you, we can make things happen for you. But, really it's there for the taking. And I invite the private sector, entrepreneurs, to step forward and to take advantage of, I say the Ministry of Tourism has done an excellent job. Our private sector hotels have done an excellent job of getting people to come to this country. They're here. They're waiting. They're ready. Connect with me. Make it happen. Now, the Ministry of Tourism might have a department that does that, helps that, but, they're government. This is something that the private sector, I fundamentally believe, needs to step forward and take the bull by the horns and make it happen. Yeah, but there are some great ideas, and the government can maybe help with, I hate to say this, funding, because we were always challenged with funding, but we can open doors, we can make connections, we can add it into our marketing product, we can put it on Bahamas.com, we can help you. But you really have to take the initiative.
But you are encouraging this. Fox Hill, for instance, might have some festival. And how is the Ministry of Tourism encouraging Bahamians to improve the product and to give the experience to the visitor, whether it's in Baintown, Fox Hill, or Gambia?
Well, there are festivals. We just had the True Bahamian Festival, excellent festival. Everything there has to be authentically Bahamian. It's put on by the Ministry of Tourism. It's a mechanism by which Bahamians can show their products that they make, food that they produce, cultural items, cultural experiences were there. And then we put in place a busing system to connect our foreign visitors with our culture. I mean, it was very well supported by Bahamians. We got a number of foreign visitors to come and to, as I say, experience the soul of the country. But there's only so much we can do with that. That's an event. Maybe we can have an event every 3 months, 4 months. Funding limits how further we can go. So, private sector step forward.
Mr. Jones, if you don't mind, I would really
I wanted Mr. Davis to respond on this side of the table before I come back to you. And Mr. Davis, there is a view that the big hotels like Atlantis and Bahama, that you need to do more to get your guests out in the community to experience the Bahamian culture.
Well, look, without question, the only thing a guest takes home with them is the experience. in the end. It's a memory. It's cherished in so many ways, with a tremendous amount of investment for these guests to come here. Some of our guests can spend upwards of $100,000 to spend a vacation here in the Bahamas. Some spend just a several $1,000s to stay here and have the experience. But whatever the price point, whatever that tourist and guest invests, all they take home in the end is the experience. And that memory, if it's positive, can be the best advertising we could ask for. They'll go back and tell their family, their friends, it truly is better than the Bahamas, and it truly is the place that you should go visit. And so the experience that we create at Baha Mar is truly about providing an exceptional service when it comes to the food, it comes to the experience, the beautiful beaches, the casino, and Mr. Munnings knows quite well that we have his local entertainment in our Blue Note Jazz Bar, local jazz musicians playing every night. And so that is some of the local experience, but I totally agree that we want our guests to go out and experience the rest that not only here in New Providence, but we're working with seaplane operators to fly out for the day to fly fish out in the Andros Islands, or to go to the Exumas for the day, or head to Rose Island, or so many day trips that guests can take beyond New Providence, but also here on the island. I think Arawak Key is the perfect environment to create a wonderful microcosm of entertainment and art and food. And certainly it's just down the street from us. We're willing to work with Arawak Key owners down there. We don't have any skin in the game. We don't have any investments down there at Arawak Key, but where we can help professionally to give ideas to all of the restaurateurs and the local Arawak community that are down there, what our guests are looking for. They're looking for, number one, every guest, no matter where they travel, number one is a safe environment to go to. That's why guests, not necessarily in some environments, want to leave the property, but they have to know that when they walk out of that hotel or drive, that it's safe. And that's the number one reason guests will either come or not come to an island, is safety. Putting that aside, I think, again, there are some wonderful experiences at Arawak Key. I think downtown has a tremendous opportunity. I encourage every shop owner, landlord, to go out and paint your building and at least clean up your existing footprint that you're in. We take pride, and we spend, at Baha Mar, I spend $9 million a year just cleaning. $9 million a year in cleaning. And that's just for local Bahamians to make sure that every detail is taken care of. I probably spend close to $20 million when it comes to maintenance on top of the $9 million. So $30 million a year. I ask, how many downtown business owners paint their buildings and keep them clean and tidy and detailed? So when our guests go downtown, or a guest off a cruise ship goes downtown, that it looks immaculate and detailed in every way. Because I tell you, if I have a chip of paint that's missing in my hotel, we're painting it. We're making sure that it is exceptional when that guest comes. And I think every shop owner, every business person in the island where a guest goes to should take ownership of their own business and reinvest. We're reinvesting today. We're reinvesting every day in this project. We're not looking here at any profitability in the short term. We're looking at reinvesting and hiring and making sure that we get the exceptional experience right the first time. We want to create more. We're looking for boat builders to go back to the traditional sloop building, to build a sloop where the old fishermen used to use, that we can have local school children and people that are interested to build a sloop, and multiple ones every year, to get out there and go in the regatta over in the Exumas on an annual basis. We're building a whole art center where we have right now John Cox, who runs our Current, who is our art director, previously from the private school and from the National Gallery, is alive and well and thriving with our local artists, where we have artist in residence programs of our local Bahamian artists that come in, and set up shop in our art studio, painting for our guests and selling art. We've sold thousands of dollars already of local art and make that available to our guests. And I think, again, that's just the beginning of our cultural program. In addition to this boat building, we're looking at doing art recycling, where we'll have glass blowing studios. We'll have recycling textiles, and really inviting the local community and local artists to come join John Cox in the Current and really create a tremendous experience. This will be not on property, but off property. And I think in the future we can do Baha Mar farms and get some aquaculture, some hydroponics, pig farming. We can have we have an orchid grower here on island that just keeps coming to me and wanting to grow orchids for the hotel. Look, we encourage people that have great ideas. We'd love to partner with them and create some success and create those experiences for our guests to come and enjoy. That's what it's all about, because again, in the end, the guests only take home that experience and the memories. And I think we have so much to offer, and this island and culture has so much to offer.
Well, Mr. Bunnings,
Yes.
are you satisfied?
Brother Jones,
But
I
I'd
am
like to-
happy to hear all that have been articulated, both by the minister and Mr. Davis, and I know the air is biting at the bit to jump in, so go ahead, and then I'll
Listen,
talk about what I want to.
we have been in the marketplace here now for 20-plus years. I can tell you that we have certainly, at one point, hired on property up to 50 performers at one time. We continue to hire performers. We have Junkanoo rush-outs. We have Junkanoo festivals and feasts every week. We have our art walk every week where we feature some 40 vendors, artists, and local handicraft persons who are doing wonderfully. We don't charge them rent. They come in on every second Saturday and they showcase and sell their goods. We contribute like other corporate sponsors do to our #1 art form, Junkanoo, on a regular basis in a big way. Every opportunity we can take to promote art, culture, and entertainment, we do. But I think it's important to say this to echo the minister's comment. It is not going to be sustainable for entities such as Atlantis and Baha Mar to, and I can't speak for them, but I'm doing so generically, to be overly focused on the development of new entertainment amenities for its guests. It's just not sustainable. What is sustainable is to be in a marketplace where entertainment, culinary arts, cultural expressions continue to build and develop generically and globally across our local campus. When you go to New Orleans or anywhere else of that ilk, it isn't the hotels that are nurturing the tourism industry. New Orleans has 400 festivals a year. 400 festivals a year. That is what feeds the tourism industry in New Orleans. The Bahamas has the capacity to build a cultural expression, an entertainment expression that will cross the canvas so that people coming to this country don't just come to this country because of Atlantis or because of Baha Mar or because of any other property, but they come here because it's the Bahamas. They go to New Orleans
For the experience.
For the experience. They go to New Orleans because it's New Orleans, because there's something there that's going to bring someone there at some particular time of the year. It might be the New Orleans Jam Festival, or something that allows people to come and experience them. And they stay at hotels. That's what hotels traditionally have done.
What is
So-
currently the pull for the Bahamas?
Well, You know, Freddie and I have talked about this for now, to be quite frank with you, and I say this very candidly, and I don't think anyone can doubt it, there was a time when after, you know, the economic downturn of the 90s, et cetera, when essentially the marketing of the Bahamas became synonymous with Atlantis. That isn't what we want. We want the Bahamas to be the destination. Atlantis and Bahamar will do their marketing, and we will try to compete. We will compete for people staying at our facilities. And right now, if we were to increase that demand to the point where people want to come to this destination for things other than the resort, occupancy issues will go away.
Okay, Freddie?
Okay?
Yes, so Minister, with respect to your comments with regard to the private sector being more involved, I totally agree with you. We have a challenge, however, and we, for the last 20 years, have been calling for something I call the Entertainment Encouragement Act. It is different from the Hotel Encouragement Act because the entertainment industry is an industry of attractions. It's not a hotel. I'm not in the hotel business. I'm in the entertainment business. But I cannot go to any bank in this country and get a loan if I tell them I want to open an entertainment establishment. Cannot do it. So the government of the Bahamas needs to create the kind of incentives that will cause private sector people to invest in entertainment establishments so that they can be at the level that a Bahama or an Atlantis would have no difficulty saying, if you want to see a great Bahamian cultural experience, go to this place or they're going to be secure, it's going to be safe, the quality is going to be at this world standard, and we will partner with you
Speak to the incentives you and I have spoken
to cause it to happen. And so we have submitted, and we will continue to submit. Here is the idea. Ed and I have spoken about this because we were involved with the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. So we came out of that idea saying to the government of the day, and we say to this government, create the incentives. The private sector people will invest. And here is one idea. Why can't we create a situation where if a business person invests in the entertainment industry, that sponsor, for example, if he has $100,000 worth of taxes annually, if you say to him, 25% of your annual taxation, if you invest in the entertainment industry, we will write that off. In terms of you put $25,000 in, we write that off of your VAT, we write it off of your customs duties, we write it off your various taxes. So this now incentivizes that business to invest in Baintown, to invest in Gambia, to invest in downtown, and create these entertainment establishments where you, along with the marketing team, Bahama and Atlantis, along with their marketing teams, will say, listen, we have a wonderful experience at ABC locations, and we will create the kind of opportunities. We will advise our guests. We will put it in our guest rooms to promote these activities. I'm sure you would remember, Minister, when we used to have nightclub tours that were organized by Leisure Time or by Majestic Tours, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We used to have nightclubs that will have 2 and 3 shows a night, 500 people per show. I mean, the destination was buzzing. And I don't believe that there'll be anybody who would have left this destination, Mr. Davis, without saying, wow, what a wonderful experience. We would have had the best entertainers from all over the world. We also had what we call a cultural exchange program, where if you were to bring in a major act to your property, that same promoter will then take a Bahamian act to wherever that act came, whether it was Vegas, whether it was Atlantic City. Sandy would remember this. I see him in the audience. And so I want to say to you that we can do this. We know how to do it. We need the support of the government and the private sector, and there are ways by which you can incentivize it, because then that business person will say, okay, we want to build my industry, we want to build Baintown, we want to rejuvenate this. You know, the Cat and Fiddle was in Baintown. People came from all over the world to see it. And so I am saying, if we are serious about the entertainment industry, let us give it the same kind of incentives. Give us the crown land that we could find that amphitheater and have proper parking, proper security, proper sound, proper light, proper production, and then create the kinds of opportunities for our young artists to be able to showcase themselves, to be able to get on the platform and then become world-class artists. As we know
Randall,
now.
if you mind, if I just add to that. Just recently, they had something we're involved with. I don't know if the Bahamas involved as well, with the music project.
Yes.
Which was a
Yes.
high school band
Excellent.
project. We continue to promote things like that because why? That particular entity is promoting the development of young Bahamian musicians, not just to go and play, but to write songs, for instance, to develop their craft. Those are the people who will develop a unique Bahamian sound, a unique Bahamian art form, or unique Bahamian art forms. But again, you know, Bahama and Atlantis have been very successful in terms of its product. They've developed its product, and we market its product, and people have come to this country for that product. And they've come. It shows us then that the model of developing product is the key. And so the same seriousness, we spend tons of money on marketing, but the same seriousness that we spend on marketing, we can divert those dollars, some of those dollars, year after year to developing product. And it's not just entertainment, it's our forts, it's our parks, it's our graveyards, it's our historical buildings. It's a whole range of product development where people will come, as Graham, as Minister and Freddie has said, people will come over and over again because they're coming to experience this unique product.
So both of you agree that the destination is boring?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Fields?
It's challenged.
It's challenged.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work.
Improving.
It's improving. Minister, when we returned on the program, we spoke a whole lot about Bahama and Atlantis, and our tourism product is more than Atlantis and Bahama. We have Grand Bahama. We have many other islands of the Bahamas, and for completeness, we want to talk about Family Island travel and what we are doing to encourage tourism in Grand Bahama and other islands that make up the destination Bahamas. We take this break, we'll come right back.